Hello MBA aspirants, in this video we shall discuss 5 tips for handling abstract GD topics. Tip number 1. Understand the twofold challenge. Abstract topics are more challenging because they are perception based. Now these are topics which are interpreted based on your understanding of the topic, based on your perception. How do you see the topic? Right? So this is not a factual topic which is around a particular event or a piece of fact. This is all driven by the way you see a particular topic. On one side is a pressure to come out with diverse ideas. On the other hand is the pressure to take one thread forward for discussion. There are two challenges there. One is idea generation. How many ideas do you get on table? And the other is, from those given ideas, which idea or ideas will you take ahead for discussion? So the twofold challenge is what makes it more difficult to manage, more difficult to handle. Tip number 2, follow the inverted funnel approach. This helps at the onset to think out of the box. Now, inverted funnel approach would mean that you are diverging. You are basically spreading your thought process to include multiple implications of the topic. So this will help you initially to ideate and to move in a lateral direction. Stretch your thought process to think divergently. As I said, divergent thinking is absolutely critical for these topics because the initial phase of the discussion would require you to come out with multiple ideas. Don't be too judgmental about your ideas. The problem is, since the topic is perception driven, perception based, we tend to think that whatever we feel about the topic is what defines the scope of discussion. But you have to be open to what other people are thinking. So I think a huge challenge here in this kind of a topic is to integrate the inputs given by the team members with your perception and then make a meaningful discussion. Example, red or blue. Now this is a topic which is purely perception driven. It's how you look at these colors, red or blue. Now this can have multiple dimensions. Red and blue could be Coke and Pepsi. Coke uses a lot of red in its promotional campaigns, and Pepsi uses a lot of blue in its advertising campaigns. So red or blue could be indicative of competing brands. It could be Coke, Pepsi, it could be Kingfisher, Jet Airways. In the good old days, Kingfisher was a dominant challenge, a dominant competitor to Jet Airways, and Kingfisher would use a lot of red in its promotional campaigns, and Jet Airways, the theme is all blue. So these two colors are indicative of a sense of marketing warfare, a sense to compete with a rival brand. Then of course red or blue could also mean this popular book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Mars geographically is a red planet and Venus is a blue planet. So this could mean that men and women are different in terms of their sensitivities, their behaviors, their temperaments, and they represent different colors, red and blue. And then the discussion can be around these differences in traits. Then of course red and blue are two colors in the Vibgyor, in the spectrum, which makes white light. So we have these two different colors with different frequencies, different wavelengths, different speeds, but they still coexist to make white light. So there are different connotations which can come out in these topics. The example here demonstrates that these topics require some kind of an initial challenge to think divergently, to come out with multiple ideas, and then take the discussion forward in terms of one or more such ideas. Treat topics in a lateral manner. Try exploring multiple implications of the topic. We discussed a while back that this is one of the predominant requirements in treating an abstract topic. You have to explore multiple implications of the topic, otherwise the discussion will fall flat. Even topics which are apparently non-abstract may extend abstract vibes. For example, the topic is, do aliens exist? Now prima facie, apparently it looks as if This is a topic which requires the group to discuss life beyond Earth, particularly life on Mars, discuss issues like UFOs, discuss man's fantasy to explore life on other planets and not just Earth. However, the minute somebody looks at the topic differently, the word alien differently, the whole scope of the discussion would change. Imagine somebody saying that the word alien is indicative of a foreigner, somebody who does not fit in the commonplace, and therefore somebody who's an achiever. Achievers are made of different stuff. They are not regular conventional people. Look at their courage, look at their goal orientation, look at the effort which they put in. So all achievers by and large are aliens. So we can talk about achievers in different domains, different environmental sectors. We can talk about history, and we can talk about people like Alexander. We can talk about politics, and we can talk about people like Abraham Lincoln, who made a difference as a statesman. Right? We can talk about cricket, we can talk about Sachin Tendulkar there. So all these people somewhere are aliens. Now, this is what makes the topic rich in terms of the scope of discussion. So even if the topic is not apparently or visibly abstract, there may be a possibility to explore an abstract vibe in that topic. So this is what I mean by treating the topic in a lateral manner, which may not be true for every topic, but if there is a scope, do explore it. It will take your discussion to a different level altogether. Follow the funnel approach. Now, initially, we propagated the inverted funnel approach. Now, this was important for you to think divergently, to think out of the box. But then, you have to narrow down also, and a funnel approach is also required. It is not possible to discuss all ideas in the given situation. All the ideas which have come along this far by virtue of divergent lateral thinking, the number of ideas may be huge. So you may not be able to discuss all the ideas because of the time constraint, because of the given situation, which means that you have to prioritize the ideas. Now, prioritize the ideas based on simple parameters like relevance to context. For example, if we go back to the topic red and blue, as management students, you are supposed to be sensitive to the market dynamics. You're supposed to be sensitive to brands. So somebody saying Coke and Pepsi and then extending it to market warfare would make absolute relevance to the scope of discussion. So this would possibly be high in the priority list. So you use these parameters like relevance to context, like contemporary issues. Possible that certain issues can be linked to contemporary events. So you tend to prioritize all such issues, all such events, all such ideas. Discuss 2 or 3 ideas based on the priority list. As I said a while back, not possible to discuss multiple ideas. So based on the prioritization which you have done, you choose 2 or 3 ideas and then make sure that you treat them well and have a good discussion on it. Manage time effectively. Ensure forward progression of the discussion. Now, what is typical of an abstract group discussion topic is that people keep on adding to the pile of ideas. So what happens is that the discussion is not moving ahead. People just keep on building the idea pool, so as to say. So new ideas should not be encouraged at the last minute. We have seen that even in the last minute, the nth minute, somebody will come up and add a new dimension to the topic. That is not how the discussion has to happen. All that idea generation thing has to happen in the initial phases of the discussion. Then there has to be some kind of a consolidation. And the suggested time distribution is 30, 50, 20. So 30% of the total time approximately should be given to idea generation. You encourage people to think laterally. They come out with multiple ideas. Then the core 50% of the total time should be devoted to discussing 2 or 3 ideas as discussed in the previous slide. And then the last 20% should go into conclusion. So 30, 50, 20. In a 10-minute discussion, 3 minutes should go into idea generation, 5 minutes should go into the core discussion, and 2 minutes should go into conclusion and the last phase of the discussion. We hope that these steps will help you to handle the challenges in an abstract group discussion. Best wishes.